Hello, Internet, and welcome back to the Burbs, Burbs, and Tabletop Tuesdays. Um, we're here. We're the main faces you're gonna see over the next week or so, because people got lots of stuff going on. So most of our shows are not happening this week, and we've talked about this if you've been keeping current with our content. But yeah, so not much in the way of announcements other than, the next scheduled stream that we do have will be next Tuesday. But it's not going to be Squire Squad because I'm going to be turning 30. So we're going to be doing some party games and stuff instead. So you should come hang out with us then as we do, some Jackbox or Gartic Phone. Those are always good crowd pleasers. Um, but since we are, mostly dark this week, and there may be a video game stream here or there as people find time, though we are all very, very busy. Uh, I lost my train of thought. What the heck was I gonna say? Oh yeah, now that we're dark this week, it would be a great time for you to catch up on our stuff on YouTube, where we upload all our streams, so you can get caught up on any shows that you may be falling behind on. Um, yeah, but GGK's quiet this week, so not much in the way of announcements. So I think I will turn it over to the rest of the crew here to introduce themselves. So let's start with we'll go LB myself, and then we'll turn it over to David, who can then go into the recap.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches, where I stream normally on Tuesdays, but normally the channel's live Thursday, Friday, Sunday, sometimes Wednesday, depending on how Lauren's doing. But you can see my whole schedule on Twitter, which I should update. But we are doing a giveaway because we reached 400 followers, so you can win a plushie that Lauren made. It's super cute, and some stickers and a Steam gift card. So check out my pinned tweet for that. And then tonight I'm playing Clara Kriegerton. She is a professor and a science nut and an occult studier. That's me.
All right, thank you. I am Alex. I'm OMG at some guy on the internets. I'm usually here, either playing in this game or running the Masks game, Squire Squad, opposite weeks from this. Or I'm here Thursdays in Elegant Creatures, or Saturday for Mistborn Saturdays, Saturday Night Mistborn, where we play the Mistborn RPG, which we were talking about a whole lot and realized, oh wait, we should have started by now. So oops, but we're just a big old bunch of nerds around here. And then Sundays, I'm over on LB's channel playing in her Masks game over there. Or I'm a little wizard boy who is maybe had one of his friends confess his feelings to another friend without him really knowing, but it's okay because that first friend is currently unable to lie. So that's lots of fun. So we'll see where that is in a few weeks because we're also not returning to that game uh, for a week or two. But that's the other games. You're not here for those. You're here for this game, in which case I am playing James McCoy, the himbo handyman who learned some spells out of Necronomicon last time. And so I will turn things over to David to explain how that happened.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. David, I'm here on Tuesdays. Tonight I'm the keeper. When we go back to Squire Squad, I'm running out of the Transforms playbook for Masks. But yeah, tonight's the keeper of this game where you were trying to break free of a horrible time loop where psychotic magic people keep murdering you. I mean, they've only murdered you twice, so it's not too bad. But you've been on the run now for some time. Along the way, you have managed to become wanted for murder, and in multiple states. So you're
because we've done actual murder.
He had it coming.
Yeah, I mean, you murdered a mayor who was working for the Magic Bad Guy family, the Millers, because you had to, right? You didn't have a choice, and
we had a choice. This was just the best choice for us.
Hmm. And yeah, you have you've been on the run. You managed to make it to Arkham, Massachusetts, where you went to Miskatonic University, the premier university in the world, to study the occult. And you met a Dr. Henry Armitage, a professor there, and the head librarian, who is a quite knowledgeable about the occult and specifically mythos learnings. After some kind of dancing around the subject, you sort of reveal to him that you actually believe these things, and this is what's happening to you. And to your surprise, he just believed you and was like, "Yeah, that seems like pretty normal mythos shit," and proceeded to try and help you learn some spells and things like that. Providing the Necronomicon, one of the few copies of it existing in the world, which Miskatonic University does canonically have. And yeah, a few other books to help you all learn some stuff. He helps tutor you all in a couple of specific spells as well. And yeah, so the two of you plus Clara's sister Sarah have all gotten some knowledge mythos and have all got some spells read and in that inventory. Nothing just horrifically useful in terms of combat, but some spells that let you do things you couldn't before, and in what has previously been a pretty insurmountable task of trying to figure out how to kill all four of the Millers. And you learned of the existence of the Mi-Go, who seem to be enemies of some kind with whatever these creatures that dwell in between spaces are. And you have found a way to contact the Mi-Go and have is it contact or is it summon?
Contact.
Contact.
But we
Okay.
were told that
Summon
you have
is
to
different.
be in the mountains where they are.
You have to be relatively close to where Mi-Go is, and it turns out the Mi-Go live in the Appalachian Mountains where they do mining. And yeah, Professor Armitage is quite knowledgeable about the Mi-Go. He's helped some other professors study them in the past. And yeah, so that is kind of where we pick up. You've basically spent 2 months here learning spells and stuff. So you've been gone like right over 2 months, I think, since you've left Silver Falls, Ohio. So you're probably still good. The Millers have only had 2 months in Silver Falls to do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be fine.
It's fine. We're fine. This is fine. Oh boy.
Curious what
Yeah.
Clara's bank is gonna say about, has she missed any payments on her house?
I'm sure. Well, I don't know if you can set up automatic payments.
Back
I'll
in
have
the
to mail
80s.
in a check. Yeah.
It's 1980, yeah.
Yeah.
Your accounts are likely frozen, so whatever cash you had,
Have. That's it.
yeah.
Oh boy.
And I mean, you have a checkbook, and it's 1980,
Yes.
and you have, I imagine, credit cards. It's 1980,
Mhm.
so I mean, you can just use those, right? Like,
Yeah.
people don't know that they're not good until they take it to the bank. So like your
Yeah.
credit card, they put it in a thing and just like gank, gank, and have a
That's
paper
true.
copy of it
God, I had
and
to do
send that
that.
away to a bank. And same thing with the check. You just bounce a check, right? Like, as long as you're on the run, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Now, the
Alright.
issue with those would be is it does leave a paper trail, as you are wanted,
True.
Mhm.
and they'll know where you've
True.
been.
Oh boy. All right. So we are going to travel to the Appalachian Mountains to try and find the Migos to speak with them.
Yes.
Yeah, which you won't have to travel very far because Massachusetts, it's pretty close to the Appalachians.
Mm-hmm.
Appalachian Mountains. Let's just get a map.
Oh, hey, we have the internet for that.
Yeah. No.
I
That's not the
misspelled
map.
that really bad.
Google knew what I was talking about.
All right.
Oh, dang. It goes like through the state you're in. So
Yeah.
you're good.
All
I couldn't
right,
remember
so-
where it cut off into the Atlantic.
Oh yeah.
It turns out it's
Because
up
we're in
in Canada.
Massachusetts right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we need to drive down probably to Pennsylvania at least to get close enough. Does that sound right?
Probably. Okay, let's see. So if we've spent about 2 months, we're mid-August right now, just in terms of our
Mhm.
calendar.
hmm
Or do we need to go down to like Virginia?
I mean, you could even go up, right? Like
I guess.
the
Yeah.
Appalachians
We
go
don't.
all the way up through Maine.
Right, but if we were gonna summon them, we have to be relatively close. So I guess where do we
It
know
could be
about
everywhere
where
in
they
the
are?
Appalachians.
You
Are
just
they
have to
everywhere?
get you just have to get to the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh shit!
and-
All right, let's
Yeah.
take a jaunt.
We
So
could
yeah,
even start
that's-
hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Oh boy, do I not want to do that as Clara. Just panicked
Sure.
constantly. Boy.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah, no.
ditch your stolen car, hitchhike to the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. It is the 80s.
Hike down to Tennessee, and then steal another car and go back to Ohio.
Mhm.
You'll have lost any kind of pursuit you might have.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, and you had asked Professor Armitage about how could we guarantee Sarah makes it with us
Yeah.
to the next round, and he had brought up that you could kill her and turn her into salts and keep her on your person.
Yeah,
since
yeah,
you have
we
the
d-
ability.
I remembered you saying that. I'm like not ready to accept that. Maybe we'll bring that up while we're hiking. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, because we still haven't told her, like, hey, you didn't
Nope.
exist before.
I know. It's gone on too long. Maybe
Yeah.
we should do that before we leave. And by we, I mean me.
Yeah, that probably would be good, and just, maybe we can say that, like, this happened at some point in the 2 months we were here, as it's like, okay, things
Yeah.
are relatively calm.
Yeah.
We've been through enough shit by now that we know that you are playing the incredibly long game, or
Yeah.
you're good, you're on our side.
Okay. I'm ready for that scene if you're ready for that scene, David.
Okay, sure. So you guys have been staying with Professor Armitage.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a pretty nice house here in Miskatonic because it's the 80s and they pay professors well. So
Where's the glass?
they don't just do nothing but adjunct professors.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Stop
So
drinking when it stops being too sad.
oh, buddy. No, we have to play a
No.
game.
we'll just drink forever. But yeah. Okay. So you find her somewhere. You maybe she's you're all off reading your own books and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she's off in a quiet little corner somewhere, and one of Professor Armitage's mini studies, as
Mhm.
you know, he's an ancient bachelor, so
Yeah.
he just has this nice house all to himself.
So Clara will approach, just kind of like maybe with a glass or a cup of tea, and place it down next to Sarah. Hey, Sarah, can I talk to you about something?
And she kind of sits up and bookmarks the book and puts it down. Yeah.
Um, so I know that we've been traveling for a long time, and this is not what you signed up for when you came to visit me, at all. But I think there's something that you should know, and there honestly hasn't really been a good time to bring it up. Um, but you know how we told you that sometimes when we get killed, things change?
Okay.
Um, I mean, it's really hard for me to say because I care about you a lot, and I mean, you're my sister, and I love you, and I feel that in my heart. But before this last reset, I I I didn't have a sister. I was an only child, and you showed up at my door and said you were my sister, and I called my parents and verified it, and I mean, you are my sister, but I haven't known you until this reset, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
let me see. I think this is sufficient to roll
Sanity for her.
sanity for her.
So
Some pretty big news. All right, that's a
yeah.
spirit roll.
That's very good.
Yay!
All right.
He got a 17 for the folks at home. Remember, the
Yeah.
typical number you want to beat is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Oh, oh. So you've only known me for 2 months.
Technically,
And she kind of sinks back into her chair.
I mean, it doesn't feel like it, if that helps.
Hmm.
And I didn't want to say anything earlier because I mean, like at first it was, I didn't know if we were going to die again and then you were going to be gone. And I didn't want to get attached because I didn't want to get hurt. But I mean, I never had a sister, and having you as one has been like one of the best experiences of my life. So I don't, I talked to the professor because I don't want to lose you. And if we die again and you're gone again, I don't know if I could bear that.
Okay. So you think if we die, I won't come back?
Well, I don't, I mean, honestly, I don't know, but I hope. And there's so many possibilities that I, I think that the changes, I don't know, but there's an option that I don't like, but I wanted you to know because I mean, I wanted you to know at first because I thought maybe I'd get caught up in a lie. You'd tell me a story about when we were kids or something, and I just wouldn't remember. But I think you deserve to know, again, because I care about you.
I mean, I guess thanks for telling me. This is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And it does make a certain amount of sense. There hasn't been a lot of the same inside jokes and things like that, but I kind of chalk that up to stressful circumstances. I uh,
I mean, I understand if you need some time. Um, I mean, I guess this kind of makes it so that I'm a stranger to you too.
you're not really. You don't seem really any different than the sister I've always known. I mean,
Really?
you still had a thing for James.
Oh yeah.
So I think it feels like a lot of the stuff that I knew about you is pretty directly translated into it.
I
We just
mean,
the shared history isn't there.
yeah. I
And
feel
I don't
like.
know.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe you're a lot different and I just haven't learned those things yet. But
I mean, to be fair, in the short time that I've known you, I think you've made me a better person. I mean,
oh,
I never would have talked to James like that, um, or
okay.
been so bold in investigating or felt strong. Never felt strong before,
Well, you
and I
see
think
that's where you're a little different. You would have said I was a bad influence before, but better person I'll take. So no, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And oh, I don't see that this changes much, honestly. I mean, if you were my sister and you had amnesia, you'd still be my sister, right? Like it would be sad that you had amnesia. So
yeah. Well, now you get to tell me all the embarrassing stories about when we were kids.
I mean, are they? Because they didn't happen to you. I mean, I guess they did. You're just like some body snatcher who took my sister's brain away.
No. No.
Yeah, right?
You're a secret sister that I never had and has memories of me. But no, I think that I mean, if this is the world that we're gonna live in, if this is the world that I'm gonna live in, I'm gonna need to know those things because at some point we're gonna have to go back to our parents and
Mm,
they're
true.
gonna know.
They'll pull out the family videos.
Yeah. Oh, God, there's videos.
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't even imagine.
I mean, did you did your dad not have one of those old cameras?
Yeah, he did, but he was more interested in my firsts, and then he got into wildlife stuff when I started reading books, and that was all that I was interested in. So it became kind of
Okay.
boring.
I mean, yeah, I also don't like watching the animal videos, but it's fine. All right. So I mean, I don't know. It's sad, and I'm sure at some point when we're past all this, I will have to take time to sort of grieve that loss. But for right now, I don't really see how it changes anything. We still have to stop the Millers. whatever they're doing is clearly bad.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I mean, it's been a while that I've wanted to tell you, but it just didn't seem like a good time. We were running away and then staying at a motel and stuff happened, and then we were running away again, and then people were shooting us, and this has been the only, moment of quiet that we've had, really.
okay. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. All right, so you about ready to go meet some aliens from Pluto?
I don't even know. I can't even tell you, like, honestly, how excited I am about this. Like, the possibility that there is intelligent life on other planets, like, it's always been theorized, but it's never really been proven. And the fact that I know that these creatures exist, the atmosphere on Pluto is just so incredibly. I mean, there's nothing. They don't have anything. Like, what do they live on our planet too? Do they need to breathe? Obviously not. But like, how can the weight of our planet and the weight of their planet, like the gravity pull, is just so different. So I'm yes, I'm excited.
Okay. I should have known you were. All right.
Sorry.
Think maybe passing by a window to the outside, you see James walking past, and he is practicing Beast Friend and has like a squirrel on his hand and is just going like full Kronk.
Oh, squeakity, squeak, squeak, squeaker.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you would grow up to learn actual magic?
Hell no. Absolutely not.
I mean, flying a plane is pretty magical to me, but
I mean, it's really not though, right? Just like a car wouldn't be.
okay.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
Anyways.
But it's different than being able to bring someone back from the dead.
Yeah, that's gonna be we're gonna have to make sure to do it on some sort of tarp so we don't miss any grains.
True. I hadn't thought about that. Or just bring them back right away when there's just a pile of salt right there.
True. I hope it doesn't come to that. That was one of the things that the professor, Dr. Armitage, said, that to make sure that you come with us in the next reincarnation, whatever time loop, that we could turn you into the salt and then have you on us and then travel that way.
I'd rather not, please.
Yeah, I know. That's like worst case scenario.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'd rather just be dead than have that
Noted.
be how it goes. I mean, you know what?
Okay, but what if you're already dead?
Huh?
What if you're already dead?
What do you mean?
Well, if you die and then we die and there's time for us to turn you to salt to send you back.
So like I die and you escape with my body.
Yes.
Turn me into salt. I mean, sure, yeah. I'm already dead. Who cares?
Okay. I feel like that's a cremation, like, anyways.
Yeah. And I mean, then maybe you get 2 of me in the next go round.
I didn't think about that.
Because if one of them kills me and I do go back, and then you bring me back to life.
Oh my gosh, that is a quandary that I really don't want to come across.
It'll just be one of me that's really easy to turn into salt. But
let's not think about this too hard. I think that's getting into dangerous territory.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we should probably do that for anyone, right? If one of us dies and we escape we should try and escape with the body. and we could turn them into salt and bring them back,
Uh-huh.
and then there's more than one of us.
Oh,
Or thinking about
well,
two
actually,
James.
that's not bad. That's, well, that's a different birthday. I don't know how I feel about that, but that is something to think on. Having two of me would be very convenient for the researches. Anyways, let's not.
And bonus is, since we all know how to bring people back to life, we can always turn our doppelganger back into salt with the spell.
But then we get into the the problem of who's the original.
The
What if we're all
person who
trying to-
doesn't turn into salt if you cast a spell on them.
Well, that's very fair. Okay. I'm not saying I'm on board with this, but it is a possibility.
I mean, if I am salt and there's two, and I also show up, I want you to bring salt me back too.
Okay, so you're okay with having two of you in the world?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'll think on it a little bit.
Oh, if you want it to? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I that's a lot of things to consider. It would
Okay.
be nice to switch out, like if I need a week vacation or something. I think I'd be pretty chill with it. And, like I wouldn't be, fighting with myself.
I don't know how much it would be worth it to have two people trying to live one life, because you'd have to spend a lot of time briefing them on the stuff that happened.
True.
You'd have to take a lot more notes, things about your day to day.
What if okay, this is just completely off the rails, but I've had a book idea. What if there was a society where you could only have one child, except somebody has 7 children? They're all identical twins, and they each have to live out one day of the week. And then they have to have a conversation about what person did each day. You know what? It's fine. I'll but if you cast Willem Dafoe as the dad, anyways, we can get into that later. Sorry.
Okay. How old was Willem Dafoe in 1980?
Young enough.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about, David?
Nope.
Oh, Dad, it's lost. It's lost. Is it whatever happened to Monday? That's the story for that.
Okay. So he was born in 55, so he'd be 25 currently.
He was acting.
Yeah, this is what you come to the Burbs for, where we realize that we have to. He made his film debut in Heaven's Gate in 1980. When in 1980, though?
Doesn't matter. It's canon.
Release date November 19th. So we're still a few months out.
Was he on stage? I don't know. Anyways, that's not important. All right.
You just know some aspiring actor named William Dafoe somehow.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's an early member of an experimental theater company, the Wooster Group. And now, where were they based out of? New York.
We're going too deep.
Clara's
We're
been
going
there
too deep.
before.
Yeah. Just happened to catch. Just happened to catch him. I know. I saw the spark of his, genius when I was there.
Yes, William Dafoe.
That one. Yeah.
What's this guy's name? William Dafoe. I'll remember it for always.
How could you forget it? Anyways. Oh boy. So I think Claire is going to just have a chat about what the things they've been learning after that, and that sort of thing. So yeah, that went better than I thought it was going to.
It could have gone real bad if she'd failed that sanity check.
Yeah.
But
I imagine some of those raises helped us out quite a bit.
Yeah, she handled it extremely well. Flipping Sarah's wild card or wild die rolls so well every single time.
She does so well.
So yeah, again, for the folks at home, she got a 17, which means 2 raises, but she got a 6, which exploded into another 6, and then rolled a 5.
Oh my goodness. Anyways. So yeah.
Now to the Appalachians.
You have a nice long conversation with your sister, and and yeah, it's a relaxing, kind of turns into more of a fun conversation where you can discuss, differences in early childhood and things like that a little bit more. It's become a fun thing, and I'm sure at some point you get teased about the possibility of two Jameses by Sarah, but
It's just all blushing and no words, just like
all right. So yeah, James, anything you want to do before? Mhm.
probably we would have abandoned it and just used the professor's car if we needed to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're going to be here for several months, you would have needed to have ditched the car. I mean, if you had the professor's help, if you borrowed his car, you could drive the car somewhere way off, drive back with the professor's car. And
Mm-hmm.
I just realized the stream wasn't picking me up for a lot of that. Good thing we have the captions, but
yay!
Thanks, captions.
yeah, but
Oh, did you hit the wrong mute button?
no, because I mean, it should have been synced up, so I don't know what happened.
Remember that one time I went a half of an episode where no one heard a thing I said?
Yeah, but so basically the gist of it was what was James getting up to, and it's once we decide we're going to the mountains, he starts working on securing us provisions. At some point, we switch the car, though you heard David talking about that. So yeah, yeah, and I think it was only just a little bit that I was muted, so y'all probably got him going full cronk with the squirrel. But yeah, so nothing too terribly exciting that I don't know if we need to play out unless you want to do a scene of like James goes into a store and it's like the news pops on with, wanted criminals still on the loose.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not going to. You guys are leaving anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get all provisioned up, and so the professor is fine with you taking his car out to the Appalachians, but he's going to need to know exactly where you park it because he's going to take a taxi to go get it later.
Okay, we'll call him on a payphone and let him know exactly where it is.
Okay.
That's how things work in the 80s.
Yes.
And we will. Does he have an extra key?
He has an extra key, and yeah, you can just lock the doors and keep the key up in the mirror.
I'm trying to look up information on Pluto that isn't like current, which is difficult, but
I mean, it hasn't changed much. So
no, but like it's talking about how it's like what, because it's not technically a planet anymore, like it's talking about that sort of stuff. So
I mean, these would all be things Claire would know though, because she's an astronomer. So
yeah, but in the 80s it wasn't a dwarf planet, it was actually a planet.
But you would have been one of those people going, it really shouldn't be a planet, it should be a dwarf planet.
That's true. Okay.
So yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Just looking up stuff on the Miko.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you all make your way to the Appalachians. You find a nice little hiking park type deal and pull over and park and get up the trail.
Mm-hmm.
It's still what did we say? It's been 2 months, so it's August now. Okay, so yeah, it's still kind of summer. It's still probably busy. I don't know when you guys want to do the spell to contact the Miko. I don't know if you want to do it around people.
I was gonna say we probably researched some trails on the way, like picked out one that we wanted to use, one that's like probably not used that much, and then like go off the trail a little bit while trying to I'm sure Sarah is pretty good at keeping her bearings, but probably go like half a mile into the woods so that like we're not interrupted.
All right. Is she good at survival? No, Sarah, it's not any better at survival than any random
Oh boy.
person.
So we're all great at that.
Mm-hmm. We'll be fine, right?
Do any of us at least have a check mark?
Sarah doesn't.
No, ma'am.
Nope. Okay.
What? Oh my god. Oh, that was a spirit test. Sorry, I just got the notification in my ear for that. I was like, she rolled a 17 on her survival?
That's weird.
Oh.
You only just got the notification.
I know. I just clicked on it though, so maybe, but
so James will take this onus. And if it
All
goes
right.
terribly wrong.
Do it, our big strong man.
Yep, so this is just wild card unskilled.
Yep.
That's only a 2, but it's not Snake Eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't automatically advance the horror.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It'll
Yeah.
be fine.
I mean, yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I looked up how many people die, like get lost and die in national parks, and even in 2020, it's like 80,000 people a year or something like that.
There was a family like who went hiking in Oklahoma just this past year and died because they didn't bring enough water. Yeah.
Drink your water, guys.
Yeah,
thirsty bitches.
Especially if you go hiking in the summer in Oklahoma.
Yes.
All right, it gets very hot here.
Anyways,
I don't know what they were. It's very sad, but at the same time, you're like, what the hell were you thinking? Anyway, so yeah, you're a little lost in the woods, but
that's kind of what we want.
Too long.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna start doing the spell, and we're gonna take a good amount of time to do it, so we don't have so many negatives.
All right. So yes, yeah, with the casting of these spells, you can spend extra time to negate the negatives. So let's just scroll through here and look on how you do that again. Casting spells. All right. Every 5 minutes reduces the casting modifier of any spell by 1. Okay. So yeah. And you can't reduce it more than your knowledge mythos die. But yeah. And all right. So that would also mean you can't get it into a positive. You can just at best get yourself to a -0.
Okay, so I have a D6 in knowledge mythos, +1 for reasons. Probably one of my things.
The D6 +1. So the +1 is going to
right,
come
right.
from skimming a book.
Right. At least you know. All
I've
right,
been
so we
rereading these things. All right.
good.
So the contact. Okay, yeah, and a contact spell is a -6, and so you said you have a D6.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you guys can spend an extra 30 minutes doing the spell to have it as a -0. So you're just rolling your D6 +1 plus a D6.
Okay,
so
click the knowledge mythos +1.
the
The modifier.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. That's a 6.
All right, you're good.
Yeah.
You cast the spell, and you notice, you feel something almost alien in sort of like the back of your mind. There's almost like a scratching.
Okay. Is it pulling me in a direction, or do I feel like it's coming towards me?
It's just sort of there. You feel sort of a curiosity from it.
Okay. Can I reach out to it?
You concentrate on it, and yes, you feel like that
Okay.
connection goes both ways.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to give a greeting and a feeling of peace and respect towards this creature.
Okay.
If I could curtsy in my brain, I would. But that sort of level. And with all due respect, I would like to speak to you if you are available.
Roll me a persuasion.
Oh, God. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. That's a... Oh, shit. Sorry. I didn't do the wild card. I just did persuasion. I should do a wild card, right?
Well, it should do it on its own.
Oh.
Well, are you skilled in it or not?
I am not.
Okay.
Oh, then yeah, do the unskilled wild card. Check.
Right. Oh my God, that's a 0. I'm gonna use a Benny on that one.
Okay.
I rolled a 2 and a 1. So it wasn't
-2.
Yeah, it wasn't a full. Okay. Oh, come on. I'm not usually the talker. I got a -1.
Well,
no.
there's the snake eyes.
Oh
no. All right.
I am gonna use another Benny for this, but I did roll the 2s.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can use the Benny.
Oh my God! Come on, roll 20. That's a 1. It's better. It's not good.
Can you even get? You would have to get a 6.
You have to get a 6. Yeah, you have to get a. You have to either. You have to explode at least one of the die.
Oh boy. And I couldn't roll knowledge psychology because I'm not speaking in.
You know nothing about the psychology of the Miko.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, yeah, it's a 1. It's a 1. It's not a 4, but there was a snake eyes in there, so
yeah,
the horde does advance.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the sense of curiosity sort of intensifies
Mhm.
and you hear in sort of your own voice in your own head,
Mhm.
like you thought it, but you know you didn't.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Okay. Claire says out loud. Say like I'm writing a novel. So they said that we should stay here.
Okay. I mean, if that's what it takes.
I'm gonna try really hard. Should I be the one that talks to them? I'm not usually the good person to talk.
I don't know how aliens work. They may only talk to you if you're the one
I
who
don't know how
called
aliens
them.
work.
I mean, we'll be here. But they may, ignore us. We don't know what they're gonna be like. Can we
I mean,
roll back and ask the professors? So if the spell works, what should we expect?
well, didn't he not know what they were like?
Yeah, he's helped other professors research them, and so he knows things kind of about them, but he's never done this himself.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we just be ready.
I'm so excited to see them. I mean, I've researched space so much, and she starts getting excited. I'm like, their planet has a density that is like 6/100ths what even ours is. They don't even. How can they survive? Their atmosphere is hydrogen based. That sounds right. Nitrogen based.
I'm just surprised Pluto has an atmosphere, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a whole page about it. Hold on.
It's bigger than I thought if it's got an atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
It is 0.06, has a 0.06 gravitational pull, and the Earth has 1.
Yeah, okay.
Because of course we do.
So yeah, it's 6%.
Yeah.
But what is the moon's gravitational pull?
The moon's a 6th, right? I believe. It's been a while since I've done any of that stuff, but that's what my brain tells me. Because Mars is a 3rd of our gravity, and I believe the moon is a 6th.
Okay, so it's saying that Earth is 9.807 m-s.
Yeah, meters per second. Yeah.
Yeah, and then and the moon is 1.62. So
Okay.
it's
like a
almost it's like a 10th, maybe 15%. I've seen the videos.
So then Pluto's is 0.06 meters per second squared.
Hold on, It's
0.06. Whereas
none of this is relevant to the game, but we are this kind of nerd.
It's 0.6. 0.62.
Pluto's is 0.6 too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 9.87 times 0.62. So you fall at 6.119. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
Okay. But I'm just
in case we go to Pluto.
I mean, you can brew space mead, and I can set up a gate.
True.
But,
Jupiter's gravitational pull is 24.79.
Yeah, Jupiter's
per
a big boy.
Oh,
But I guess I'm just
that would hurt.
Thinking about the atmosphere again. If the moon has more gravity, why doesn't it have an atmosphere and Pluto does? Or is
gases?
Yeah, and maybe it's proximity to Earth versus Pluto's proximity to things.
True. Maybe does Pluto have a it might have to do with the core and how if it has a molten core.
Maybe.
Which helps create gases from
Yeah.
nerd stuff. Let's go.
Thanks for joining us on another Tangent Tuesdays.
I can get my my cousin who is the namesake of Sabrina's person that she met at CERN. She is an actual astrophysicist. She can explain all of this to us. We could do a TED Talk next Tuesday instead of Alex's birthday thing.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So you all, you don't know. What Professor Armitage told you is that they are some kind of a fungus, that they are moth-like, that they are intelligent and scientific, and that they are, obsessed with mining, and they've been here for longer than humans, as far as he can tell.
Clara is just like every sound. She's like waiting for them.
You're here for probably a couple of hours, and what time did you guys try and get here? How long did you hike?
You always start a hike early in the morning.
Yeah.
If I've learned anything. So maybe we got to the trail at like 8 a.m.
Probably.
Hiked for like an hour and then went off the trail. Well, probably an hour going off the trail involved in that. And then did you said a half an hour?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like started communications at 9:30, 10.
Okay, so yeah, 2 hours later, it's like noon.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually hear some sort of crashing from the trees as something is coming down from above you, something large, and you look up and you see this absolutely huge giant moth guy. He's got kind of these clawed appendages, and he's got 8 limbs, and he's kind of covered in like all these sort of hair-like protrusions. And he just bam lands down in the middle of you and just starts looking around with his many faceted eyes. I am going to need everyone to make some sanity rolls. Yes. So
where is that again?
That is going to be a spirit roll.
Right.
Oh, motherfucker.
Want to spend your last Benny?
I have a D8. Yes, I do. No, do I? Yes. I'm going to do it. Fucking YOLO, as the kids say.
I got a 4, so I'm a...
Fucking shit. It's a 14.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, roll 20.
Roll 1 for Sarah.
Had to make up for all the terrible rolls it gave you before.
Well, Sarah's passed as well. Okay.
Yay.
No one takes any mental anguish. You were prepared for this.
Mm-hmm.
You hate it, but it's fine. All right. Oh, and also bonus, no one rolled snake eyes, because snake eyes is also bad to roll on this. If you roll snake eyes on the check when meeting a new creature, your mythos skill bumps up 1, so you get another corruption. So it's like Clara, your sanity score goes down. So yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
I was gonna say Clara like freezes, but she is, because I rolled a 14, into it, like fascinated. Like she is like she has a pencil out and is taking notes about like the structure. Like she's ready to ask a billion questions if they're ready to speak to her.
All right. And it kind of looks around, and it's kind of mandible mouth kind of starts moving, and in sort of like a sort of sounds like someone's talking with a bunch of marbles in their mouth,
Mhm,
but more intelligible. There's a lot of
mhm.
like clinking and and just garbled kind of noise from it, but through that you hear very clear and sort of kind of calm, kind of just, who contacted me?
That that was me. I'm
And it
Clara.
just moves up to you super fast, stops about like an inch away from you, and all its little hairs coming off of it just sort of go forward, and they just start rubbing
Oh,
all over your face
oh,
as you talk.
oh! This is fascinating. Is this how you communicate?
I communicate verbally.
Interesting. Do you have uh, you've been here before the dawn of man, but you came from a planet that has a completely different atmosphere build-up, breakup, and the whole gravity situation, that's not to mention the temperature difference. How did you do it?
Curious, ape. Anyways, why did you call me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we've been dealing with some of the those who dwell between places, and we were told that you are an enemy of them, and so are we. We need to figure out how to deal with them because they're hurting our kind. We want to stop them.
It just kind of stands there for a while. The hairs just keep,
Touching my face.
yeah.
Can you sense my intentions through these?
Those between spaces.
Yes, we believe so.
Please describe them.
Um, they're we learned that they're lizard people, right?
Hmm.
Did we get a description?
Yeah, we
So
have the gold statuette somewhere.
Oh,
Have one. Would we have thought to bring it on the
you
hike?
have your stuff with you because you're not going back to the
oh,
car,
right,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
So
Pull out the statuette.
who's carrying it?
Probably James.
Yeah.
He is the pack mule. So,
All right.
gonna take it out and like hold it up, or depending on how heavy it is, just like set it down on
Mhm.
the forest floor.
All right. Kind of sees you doing that, and it quickly moves over to you, and the hairs start kind of going over you, James, as it grabs the thing from your hands and begins to study it, holding
It's
it up
okay. I
to
think
its
that's how they
eyes.
communicate.
Sure. But so we found that in the abandoned home of a family of people who we think maybe worship them. They're certainly doing stuff. They're the ones that she was saying that are hurting those we care about and we would like to stop.
Hmm. Yes, my people are enemies of these creatures.
We've learned some uh, spells to help us fight against them, but you have seen them and interacted with them, or your people have, and we need to know what we're getting into and if we can even hope to defeat them or their followers.
Yeah. And as soon as you started talking, it moved back over to
Oh,
you and started doing the hair thing.
uh-huh.
You claim to have learned spells.
That's how I contacted you.
True. It could have been other ways. Anyways, it is unlikely you will be able to defeat them.
Oh. Do you want them defeated?
Personally, yes.
Would you be willing to help us do that?
Of course. Please tell
Oh.
me where they are.
Oh, we know where their followers are. And if you need us to give you specific directions to them particularly, we can get in contact and tell you when we find them, unless you want to come with us.
I do not need to travel with you. Tell me where they are.
Well, I don't have longitudinal, but they are at this address. I give the Miller's address. Those are their
Like the
followers.
the town and everything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they have a machine that they've been using to turn people into a liquid. And we talked to, let's see, they have heavy, she'll explain what Professor Salt has given her, as far as like the chemical makeup of the thing that they've been turned into, because we didn't know what it was doing.
Interestingly, as you've learned about the resurrection spell, you now recognize that what the machine is doing is turning them into their essential salts, which are then dropped into a liquid and dissolved.
Okay.
So,
oh wow, that's fucked up. So I'll explain that they're using the resurrection spell to turn people into salt, and then dissolving it in this goo that was the previously unknown element. Was that the salt? Did we think? Or was that something else? Okay.
That's something else.
Okay.
Well, so maybe. You don't know what the salt's made out of.
I guess that's true. So I'll explain, because Professor Salt gave it to us, and this creature seems to be intelligent, the makeup of that I was told of the goo. And
interesting. And it kind of backs away from you and looks around and sees the three of you. Goes, in your endeavors, do you require all of your numbers?
Yes. Wait. Yes. Why?
I will require a volunteer. I will find one elsewhere.
Volunteer for what?
It do not concern you.
My morals have been shifted a lot on this trip. I think I'm okay with that. Anyways, so is there anything you can tell us about, I think we have the ability to hold the followers. Did we get a spell that contains them? Am I misremembering that?
I think so, because you did get one that can daze people. Stun.
The stun.
But
did someone learn Elder Sign?
I learned Vorish Sign, so I can turn invisible things visible, but I imagine that's separate. I can detect and conceal Arcana. But again, I imagine that's different.
What do you need from us?
You have experienced jumps in reality?
Yes. We've been killed and sent back to the time that we met the person who killed us.
Interesting. You will need to contact me again whenever you are killed.
Yes, because you won't remember, obviously. Or will you?
No.
Okay. Well, we at least have to go back one more time because we want to make sure everything is as right as possible before we defeat these followers.
They have been at work where we live for 2 months now, and so we would like to prevent them from doing that work. Which,
Yeah.
as she says, means allowing them to kill us one more time.
Yes, of course. And I will take care of whatever you leave behind.
What?
But here, I'll have to stop them here.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is there something that we can do when we go back to be prepared to take them out ourselves, or will we have to come to you? If it's just the followers.
The creatures themselves, I do not know what magics have been taught to their followers, but the creatures themselves are vulnerable to strong electrical charges. It might seem counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but it disrupts their waveform.
Okay. Well, that is something that we could do. We have an electrician with us. Do you have any idea what they're doing with this goo? This chemical that they've created with the salt?
You told them the chemical makeup
Yeah.
of it. It would seem it acts as a way to dissolve and transfer certain energies to another being.
So you think that do you think that they themselves are using it or giving it to those that live between?
Oh, you do not understand. They're using it for themselves. Their followers are. Well, those that dwell between places, the work they do for them is to transfer you between realities.
Oh. The Millers, they don't know when somebody has transferred.
No.
Is that a defect?
It is something that cannot easily be overcome.
I see. Okay. The Millers have been supposedly killed before, and when they're harmed, they're healed. Is there a way that we can make sure that they don't come back? Or do we have to turn them into salt and keep them that way?
Would they have some way of ensuring it without the specific knowledge of how it is done? I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay.
But there are ways to bring yourself back even beyond the resurrection of essential salts.
I see. So when we go back and we kill them, destroy them, how do we make sure they don't come back?
Search their things, find out how it is they've come back, or if you successfully defeat those who are they work for, I find it is unlikely their magics will be as powerful.
The creatures that dwell between, how do we find them?
You would not easily be able to. They require an enormous amount of quantum energies to transition into our dimensions.
Okay, so is there a way that I can cut them off from this world?
If one were to be successfully summoned, you could kill it here, and it would
But
die.
I can't bar them from coming to this place or keep their power.
They exist within our universe, just not within our dimensions.
Right. So, ideally, we die by the hand of one of them, come back to find you as quickly as possible, and then go back and summon this being who lives in a different dimension but is still connected to ours. And then you defeat it and we help you?
Ideally, we would stop them before they are summoned.
I see. Okay, so we would just come get you, bring you back, and then we would deal with it then?
Yes, if you fail, I will be necessary to deal with those that dwell between places.
Right. Do you think that the Millers are trying to summon this thing to
Yes.
our world? Oh,
Absolutely. That is what they're doing when they're killing you and sending you to realities.
Oh,
Those that dwell between places feed off of the energy that happens during the transfer.
They're weeping angels.
I know. I just thought of that. They're weeping angels. They feel off the potential energy. Okay, so that makes sense. But they've already been doing that in this timeline, and they haven't summoned them yet. Or have they? And they only are around for a little while.
Possible. They would need an enormous amount of this energy.
Like a whole
So-
town. At least.
Oh, more than that.
And does it need to be done in, I guess, does it need to be done in quick succession, or can it be done over time?
Overtime is fine.
They must have quite the capacitor.
I guess.
James knows a thing. He did an electrician thing.
Ah! Right. Okay. Well, just a question that has nothing to do with the Millers. You're from Pluto, right? The actual planet, or a different dimension of Pluto?
I'm from the planet in the solar system you refer to as Pluto.
In the dwarf planet. It's how did you deal with the change in temperature? I mean, it's negative 200 degrees Celsius there, and it's definitely not here.
How did you deal with the change in temperature between this morning and now?
Oh, like just in a car.
You need temperature change. Your body is able to survive it. Others would not be able to survive such temperature changes.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So is it that your skin is just really adaptive, or is it more of a magical?
Sorry to interrupt, Clara, but I think perhaps one more, logistics question. When we return, what can we say to facilitate meeting you again and earning your aid in our endeavors?
Mm. Mm. You could simply say that those that dwell between places are present in this location, and you require my assistance. You've contacted me in previous iterations.
Okay. Thank you for telling us that. That makes it simpler.
Well then, I will head to, and he says the address of the Millers.
Okay. Do you need anything else from us?
Do you have a map of the town?
Probably not, because we don't even have the car that we used.
Yeah.
So, what would be the
I could.
because we're somewhere in like the Pennsylvania portion of the Appalachians, right?
Mm.
How close would we be to Ohio that like if we have a big enough hiking map, could Ohio show up?
Oh, I mean, if you have a map of the entire Appalachians, Ohio probably shows up because the Appalachians get pretty close to Ohio.
Claire's gonna start drawing like a crude map of the town and like just main roads, like a toddler drew it. I'm
Mhm.
guessing. I'm not that kind of scientist. And this is our house, and put a little heart over it.
Okay, yeah. According to Wikipedia, the Appalachian Plateaus cover at least half of Ohio.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that he kind of looks at the map of the town that you drew, and all right.
I guess we'll meet you there then. It might take us a day or two to get there.
Okay. Where will you
I'm
be?
sorry. Well, that's a good question. We are wanted criminals. But we've got to speak with I mean, we have to get killed by Mr. Miller. So I'm gonna take the map back and then like draw where the motel is and put a square around it. Like one on the edge of town, maybe. For the night. And then we'll head over to the Millers. Is it gonna take us a day to get there? Like I'm trying to give him a timeline.
I
Probably.
mean, yeah.
We gotta get back. Well, we're gonna have to
You're gonna have
get
to
a
find
car.
a car. Yeah.
But having recently driven across Pennsylvania, it's would take less than a day to get from Pennsylvania to Ohio.
So let's say we'll be.
I mean, you're going to Columbus.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
So-
that is across the way. So maybe we'll be there because we do have to find a car and all that stuff. We'll go to the Millers not tomorrow morning, but the morning after. Like really early.
All right. I will send someone to meet you at the hotel.
Okay. I'm sorry. Do you have a name?
You do not need to know it. I do not believe you'd be able to say it.
That's probably fair. How can you speak like us, by the way? Or is that a construct that you've put into our brains?
I'm able to speak your language.
You were probably there when it was made, huh?
No. This language was developed, I believe, across an ocean.
Yes, that's true.
So I try and keep up with local languages as best I can. It has been quite some time since I've had need to relearn or learn new things about your kind, but I am finding this outing to be quite interesting so far.
Good. Well, I'm glad that it was pleasant for you.
Yes. Ohio, is it still ruled by the French?
No.
Oh.
But if you go north across the lake, they're sort of French up there.
It's complicated.
I will not need to
No.
speak
probably
French
not.
then. Okay.
Okay. It's
And it just flies
And-
off.
okay, bye. Turns back to Sarah. That was the coolest fucking thing that's ever happened to me. Did you see its mandibles? And the thing was touching my face with its hair. It was, I wonder if do you think they were like seeing if I could feel Like, oh, what do you even need to do that for? Unless they're, getting a better look inside my brain, or if maybe that's how they see faces.
She just kind of, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay? That was probably a lot.
Yeah, as good as one can be after meeting a giant moth guy.
Yeah.
James, how are you?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
I did pick up that it said, it communicates verbally, and yet it was still touching us, but it did. I, I don't think it hurt us, and not trying to piss off Mothman. So
He's not a moth. He's an interdimensional space. He's a Plutonian.
sure, but yeah,
He implied they call it something else.
I mean, that's true, I guess. Oh God, I wish I could talk to him more.
well, you'll
There's so many
get to talk
questions.
at least one more time.
That's true. Well, him, or he said he was sending someone. I wonder if they have followers as well. I would be a follower.
Perhaps I'm little iffy on the whole volunteer thing, and maybe that's who they're sending. But
Oh,
also, it's kind of maybe we'll have more compunctions about it in the next loop if we think it's gonna be the last one.
true. Um, well, I mean, I think we have a plan now, which is more than we could say of them when we got here.
Yeah, good work. It didn't
Yeah.
eat us.
Oh God, I feel like it was easier for me to talk to um the Migo than it is for me to talk to most people. I don't know what that says about me though.
Don't think too much about it.
Yeah, who knows?
Well, guess we gotta go steal another car. I don't like that we're getting good at this.
I mean, I was already good at it. I've just had to more used to more reason to use those skills.
Yeah, we should talk about why you're good at that.
For perfectly legitimate reasons. People call me to get their cars unlocked when they lock their keys in there.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. So we're going back to Ohio. We're going to use the beads, get killed by Mr. Miller, and then go back and find the Migo again.
And maybe Scruffy will be there waiting for us.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. But
All right.
God, I'm just excited.
Yeah, so you steal another car and you make your way to Silver Falls, or near enough to it. You to this motel you said you were going to stay at. You sketchily check in with your ball caps pulled down and and things like that, and settle in for the night, turning on the TV to news of another person in town having gone missing, which the newscaster um, says brings the number of missing people, um, sadly up to 50.
50?
Yes.
You monster.
How big was the town? Like, I guess it's a college town, so 50 isn't that many, but that's still a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a college town. and it's kind of a suburb of Columbus. Like it's a drive away. Like it's a solid like 40 minute drive away from Columbus, but there's people who live here and commute to work in Columbus.
Okay.
So yeah, it would seem they've been busy in your absence. And however you take that news, we will figure out later, as I think it's probably about
Yes.
our time.
Yeah. Okay, I am unmuted. So we are gonna go to our break screen. Take this opportunity to get water, stretch, take our meds, all that good stuff. And we'll hope to be back real soon. So don't go anywhere.